man. Next up, we got Akon,
Boy.
Convict Music. Yeah, Akon is trying to set the record straight on what's going on with his this planned city that he's trying to uh create in Africa. He's trying to create. So for anybody who's unaware, Akon has been talking a lot about developing a self-sustaining city in Africa that runs on sustainable energy and is powered by cryptocurrency. And it's kind of, I guess, his big, hairy, audacious life's goal. And there were reports recently. I actually read an article about the fact that it was scrapped, that it wasn't going to happen, that the authorities in Senegal, like, they grew impatient with the lack of development, so they've just decided to repurpose the land that was going to be used for this for their own means. And now Akon is basically saying that that's all media agenda stuff. It's not true, and that he's still moving forward with building the city. And don't buy into what the media says. The media has agendas, and it's a media agenda. That's the reason for those reports that Akon City isn't something that's happening. So this says Akon claims the media spread false information about Akon City, hires teams to fight agenda. Akon made headlines last week over claims that his Akon City project had been abandoned by the Senegalese government. Speaking with Philadelphia media personality Mina Say What on the Mina's House podcast, the icon claimed that the media has spread misinformation about Akon City, assuring it's still underway. Media narratives about Akon City's abandonment were false, according to Akon, who explained what really happened to Mina Say What. So I'm not going to read any of that because I'm going to play the clip. So let's see. Is there anything else worth reading here? When asked where the negativity was coming from, the mogul would claim it was due to agendas. To combat these agendas, Akon hopes people will use common sense. Akon City is a city run off of cryptocurrency, solar, renewable energy. He goes on to share Africa's future through its current census, saying it's the development of what Africa will be in the future. We have all the resources to power ourselves, generate our own income, create our own income. Not only that, but we have the population, because when you look at Africa, 65% of the youth or 65% of the whole population is under 21. So here's the exchange between Akon and Mina Say What, in which she explains the media agenda and that Akon City is very much alive and well.
So the infrastructure part, you were building Akon City.
We're still building it.
You still building it.
Yeah.
So why are they saying it stopped?
It's a big dream. It's something that it goes beyond the capabilities of what they think one man can create. And what they don't realize is it starts off as a dream, and then it continues as something that becomes reality as people start to adapt it. So it starts with one building and it becomes something that becomes monumental in the future. But I think what happens is with Africa is one of them places where the development of it starts now, and it will become the future 100%. But Africa's been getting raped for so long by the West. The last thing that they can afford is for Africa to wake up and start to develop itself. So this concept of what Akon City is to become is definitely something that shakes up the agenda.
So you're still having, this is in Senegal. So for people who are unaware, you were building a city complete. You are right. You are building a city run off of cryptocurrency.
That's what media does.
Run off of solar, completely solar, right?
Renewable.
And then it's supposed to be like the real life Wakanda.
It's the development of what Africa will be in the future.
Yeah.
Because we have all the resources to power ourselves, generate our own income, create our own income. Not only that, but we have the population. Because when you look at Africa, 65% of the youth, of the whole population is under 21.
Yeah.
So it's driven by the youth for the future, 100%.
Well, I'm happy that you're still building the city.
Oh yeah,
because the media. So do you now put out a press release? Or you just let them talk?
Well,
how does that work?
All you can, because you can't fight the internet.
You can try.
I mean, listen, I got teams on it trying to combat all the negative, false information that these people are putting out. And just last week, we had over 23 million false ads on Akon City, just negative.
Where is that coming from?
It's the agendas, the powers that be.
That's
how it works.
Okay.
When they want to destroy something that can change the minds or the mindset of people, that's how they do it, through the media. So all you can do is pray to God and hope that people get it and use their common sense to know that a city ain't built in a day.
Right.
Or a month or a year.
And it requires a lot of money.
Money and time and resources. And people have to believe in it as much as you do.
There you go. So, you know, it's not that there was anything that was said there that's untrue. But you know, I don't know. What's your take on that whole situation? Do you think that there is a do you think that there is a media agenda at work to suppress what's going on with Akon City?
I mean, that's what else is he supposed to say? If it's true, yeah, say that. Even if it's not true, yeah, say that. You know, that's gonna muck up the waters a little bit more and buy him a little bit more time. Personally speaking, I guess I took the bait when that negative propaganda was spreading out there on Akon City, because when I saw that one building and then the rest that was going on there, I was like, hey, well, you know, it looks like it's not being close to done. So now, if there's a situation where there's all types of red tape that he's got to cut through, or this and that he was under the impression it would just be this, but there's a whole nother situation going on for either, the land or something, who knows, where it's basically a bureaucracy blocking him from actually getting some stuff done, then I can understand that, you know. But to me, the whole goal sounded pretty audacious to begin with. Powering off cryptocurrency. I mean, come on, bro. It's like an NFT city, and that's when NFTs was really popping. Now, granted, Bitcoin is the future. All right. I'm no financial advisor, but Bitcoin is the future. So there's going to be money in cryptocurrencies. But, the Akon coin or whatever it was. Like,
Akon.
Listen, bro. I'm not living in a city where I'm spilling a coin. Sorry, bro. Just call me a hater, I guess. But I just think that that's a little weird. Not in the sense that he's going to be out here making his own money and stuff, but it was just something about, bro, that I just didn't feel as though it was all the way trustworthy. Personally, just a feeling of mine. So I don't have a problem with somebody actually trying to create their own bank, trying to create their own city. And I don't have a problem with the premise of that. I actually supported it. But once it's been year after year after year with no results or no updates, I kind of just wrote it off as, hey, I guess he just Umar Johnson to everybody, And yeah, he has the plot of land. Yeah, he's got one building there, but it's not functional, So, and then on top of that, when people start to ask for updates of what's going on, there's always a grand conspiracy to slow them down. Or you try to pay your own people and they stab you in the back and they just run off with the money. And, so now it's a situation where he doesn't get enough help to do it. So him saying that, hey, one man trying to do it, one man, it's like, yeah, bro, like that was a pretty huge goal of yours. A whole city, I wouldn't have started off there. I would have started with a building and expanded outwards. But him trying to just do it all on one plot of land, have all of this, this Disney World Dubai/city. I was hopeful, but I was like, I don't see how that's going to pan out. So if there's negative press out there, trust me, there are propaganda arms to make things in Africa look crazy. I get it. But to me, this one's believable. Sorry, Mr. Akon. But what are your thoughts, man, on Sir Akon saying that, hey, man, there's agendas out here trying to tear me down. In actuality, the city is still going to be a thing. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, this to me is kind of reminiscent of our second topic of with when we talked about Paul Pierce and his co-host talking about foreign women valuing men. And it's like, yeah, nothing that Paul Pierce is saying is wrong, but his argument is incomplete because he's not being honest with his own motivations.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like with Akon, nothing that he said is wrong, but I think that it might be a bit incomplete in terms of truly expressing the scope of what it is that he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen, I don't want to knock the guy, but he, apparently this whole thing came about because he was inspired by Black Panther. So the movie Black Panther inspired him to create a futuristic, self-sustained city on the continent. That was the driving motivation behind him doing this. And he wanted to, run the whole thing on a form of cryptocurrency that he created called Acoin. Now, I dip and dab with crypto here and there. I don't see a whole lot of Acoin being sold on the blockchain. Um, and according to everything that I've seen on the internet and everything that I've seen on the Wikipedia page, this looks like it's officially abandoned. It says, now granted, you have to take everything with Wikipedia with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. But on the Wikipedia page, it says in July 2025, the project was officially abandoned, with Akon stating he would instead pursue more realistic projects and opportunities. Now, I looked for said statement from Akon. I don't see any official statement of him talking about him moving on to other things. So he may have a point in terms of that being agenda driven, but I kind of feel like this is a bit of a ambitious project. Like, why, and again, I'm not as smart as Akon. I'm not in his camp. I don't know what resources he's pulled. I don't know the intricacies of this project. Mm-hmm. But what was, when I see stuff like this, I ask myself, you couldn't just start with building like affordable housing in Africa? Yeah. Like, wouldn't that have been a nice, decent start? Like, why do you have to build Wakanda?
I don't know.
Like, can't we just start with like affordable housing for people in the region who can afford to live in these houses that are technologically equipped and they're run off of solar power and sustainable? Like, you can do all this stuff and you can just like maybe build a community or something, do something that's on a smaller scale, right, that can perhaps put people in a position in the future to be a part of your nation building in terms of your vision. But I kind of feel like this is an instance of him going from A to Z. Like, he went from 0 to 100. And it's like there are intermediate steps in between. Like, maybe you can start with developing a community, maybe build a school, like build a self-sustaining tech school or something that can teach people in the region how to be your future engineers and all of that kind of stuff, so that they can be a part of you building this, doing this whole thing on the level that you wanted to do. But I kind of feel like at the level that he's trying to make it happen, you have to figure out ways to get outside investors into your project in order to make that happen.
Right.
And those outside investors are going to come with outside areas of influence and outside intentions. Mm-hmm. And so from a political standpoint, it's going to be harder for you to make this actually happen. So again, man, I'm not the smartest person in the room when it comes to stuff like this. I don't know all the details, but it kind of seems like he was a bit over his skis with this, I kind of feel like. Or maybe is, if he's actually still trying to do it and the reports of it being abandoned are false. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he is still trying to do it. Maybe paring it down and going a bit smaller is the smarter play. Maybe instead of trying to build an entire future city, maybe you can start with creating an infrastructure so that locals in the region can acquire the skills and the education that is necessary so that they can be a part of your thing in terms of building the city of the future. That way you'll have your own homegrown engineers, and you'll have your own homegrown tech people. You'll have your own homegrown data analysts. You'll have your own homegrown, construction experts, your own homegrown, all of those various things that you need in order to do something like this, right? So maybe start off there and then build up to Akon City. But going from a plot of land to developing a future city that's completely self-sustained and running on a coin, I don't know. I don't know how feasible that is.
Yeah, man, it felt like a grift when I first heard it. Of course, you want to believe in that. Of course, you want to believe he can execute that, but I mean, it's Akon, man, and you got it. That's billions of dollars. Like you said, that's going to have to be a lot of people investing in that. And if it's going to be a smart city, that's highly technological stuff. That's really expensive. So, yeah, man. Unfortunate, but at the same time, bro, hopefully one day he can get it done. But it'll be the same year that Umar Johnson has a school built. So if that's 2050, so be it. But yeah, man, start off with a small little thing, small little whatever, and expand outwards, bro. But trying to knock out a whole city in one foul swoop it's never been done. So yeah, I guess shout out to Akon, man. Of course, there are agendas. Like I said, there are media arms that spin things that go on in Africa a weird way. And so for yours to be part of that wave, that's not far-fetched. But you're going to have to do some explaining. If you can say that, explain why there's only one building there, after all these years. Like, talk to us, then people wouldn't be so suspicious of what you got going on. And, us people that are being classified as haters right now wouldn't be hating. We'll go, no, that actually makes sense. Granted, there'll be excuses, but it's better than just saying that there's a media agenda against you. Bro, why is it just one building? So tighten up, Akon, man. I want to believe in this vision, much like I believe in Smack That the Country song. Did you hear that yet? Is it out yet, or we still gotta wait for that?
No, because he's been trying to build Akon City.
Oh, okay. So yeah. And he said he's been working on that project for years now. So
yeah,
this guy's all talk, man.
Yeah, I just, you make a good point. I feel like you open yourself up to, well, rather it's harder to convince people that there are forces conspiring against what you're trying to do when there's such little progress that's been made in what you're doing. So yeah, if there were several things that were happening, but it hit a roadblock every single time, that would be one thing. But the fact that there's really nothing that's been made or created, it's harder for you to sell people on the idea that the media is conspiring against you. And I mean, yeah, I'm doing a little background reading on this thing. And I found something here, another AI generated piece of content. It says it's important to note that Akon City's funding structure and progress have been a subject of controversy and scrutiny. The value of Acoin, the intended central currency, has significantly declined, and the project has faced delays and missed payments, leading to Senegalese government to reclaim most of the land allocated for Akon City due to lack of progress. The original Akon City project has since been replaced by a less ambitious, privately funded tourism hub planned by the Senegalese government. So, I mean, I guess if that's media agenda, then I guess he has a point. But I don't know. Thus far, it kind of sounds like he just, he was getting a little too big for his britches.
Right. Yeah, man. One man can't do all of that. Technically, they can, but you know what I'm saying. Like, this was a whole team effort that he would have had to get done. But
well, it says the project was intended to be funded by Akon and a group of investors, including high net worth individuals and companies, particularly from Africa and the Persian Gulf states. A significant portion of the funding, initially reported as $4 billion of the $6 billion estimated cost, was reportedly released by investors. Akon himself has stated that the project is not a charity, but rather a social entrepreneurship initiative aiming to empower people in Africa through business development and long-term sustainability rather than relying on donations. He has also mentioned securing a $1 billion credit line from international companies led by Chinese firms. So I don't know, man. This stuff just kind of this stuff just kind of seems like it's all over the place.
It's a high class finesse. It's a high class finesse. My whole thing is that it had to be an A-coin, and that's the part about it to me that's a dead giveaway of this is all about him. This is some weird self-aggrandizement stuff. He was gonna have some gold statue of himself somewhere, feeding the kids with a lamb next to him. And so, yeah, man, he was gonna have all this stuff going on, and that's the part about it that was a little strange to me. But, hey, man, it sounds good on paper. There's a lot of this stuff sounds good on paper, but it sounds like we'll see what happens. But right now, I was always in this space of where the city at, bro. Just show me something.
But that's so crazy though. A whole city, like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like you couldn't just build a STEM research institute in Senegal that runs off of renewable energy. You know what I'm saying? That's solar powered and runs off of renewable energy and offers free tuition. Like start there. Like I feel like if you can afford, not him individually, but if you aim to create a city and your idea of the way that this place is going to work entails something that's going to run $6 billion, I feel like you can feasibly create like a STEM research institute that is powered off of renewable energy and sustainable energy, and it's solar powered and all of that good stuff, and just allow people entry into that institute free of charge. That to me is not going to cost $6 billion.
No.
And I kind of feel like that is the start of creating a true infrastructure, which is going to enable you to create something of the scale that you're looking for, because you're going to be empowering people with the kind of requisite skills and tools and education that you're going to need in order to help build this thing. Yeah. So, but you're running around doing all of this Persian Gulf states and Chinese firms, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, it sounds like a Mission Impossible plot.
Yeah, like, man, nah, this sounds like like I said, this sounds like Umar Johnson school stuff. This sounds like it's great on paper, bro, but you got to actually go out there and do this.
Yeah,
and that ain't easy. So, and what you fronting the bill, like being the spokesperson for that city, you're the one that's galvanizing off all of this off a comic book. You know what I'm saying? Like that high that you had that night when you was brainstorming on this. Yeah, it's easy to go out there and get the money for it and sell a dream. It's hard to actually build it. And so some people ain't built for things. And the only thing he's proven right now is that he's not built for this, whether it's good for the better or worse. Even if he's like really trying to do this and he can't get it done, he ain't built for it. Or if he's just out here trying to slime or whatever, he ain't built for it. In either case, he's not looking good here, So I'll still reserve judgment, but it looks like, he was just selling people a vision, so not only just the investors, the whole world. So that's why people looking skeptical. But yeah, man, start off small, man. But shout out to Akon, man. I'll be listening for the country remixes, bro.
Yeah, that's a huge scale project, man. Listen,
you gotta be
bro. Black Panther is a movie, bro. Much harder to actually create that for real. I hope Akon is aware when he was watching Black Panther that was all CGI.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, I think Dubai is as ridiculous as it gets right now as far as a city that's made that's look crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money going into that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money going into that. And it still ain't. Yeah, I hear all kinds of reports about what's going on there. It ain't that.
Yeah.
You know, it's all superficial, but those people that would have been investing. I mean, that is big time money that constantly has to get pumped through it. And you bring a good point as far as who's going to run this place. So you need the real infrastructure, and that is the people. So yeah, man. You know, good luck, man. You know, I ain't no hater. I'm just trying to be realistic here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I feel like it's an easy ploy to say the media is holding me back. You know,
absolutely. That's the card I'll play.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. It's the media. It's the media's fault.
Man, they're trying to destroy me, man. It's all fake.
Yeah, look, man. Akon City, Acoin, all of that good stuff. Hopefully it works out. I don't know.
Convict City. Hell no.